Hi, I'm Sky, I'm from the US.
And I am Oskar and I'm from Sweden.
I know about fika and I know about smörgåstårta. So when I was younger, in middle school, I found PewDiePie on YouTube and I wanted to learn I wanted to learn Sweden. So I just briefly studied the culture, but yeah, I only learned a few things. Yeah, so I'm kind of new to everything.
It's still good, no? Smörgåsbord, fika.
Wait, smörgåstårta is like a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
It's like a cake,
like
but a sandwich.
Like a cake sandwich.
Yeah.
It's
and
lovely.
Fika is like, even children eat fika, right? Like in school. That's really cool. We don't get breaks in America like that, so I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. That's all I know. That is a stereotype. I think about a lot of people in Europe or Scandinavian people. That is a very true stereotype. Some people have asked me if I'm Swedish or Russian, but I believe that's true for Americans. What do you think?
Well,
do you hear this in Sweden?
As a Swede, I think this is not true. I mean, it is a stereotype, right?
Yeah.
I don't consider myself very blonde. I have blue eyes, but I think it's a minority actually in Sweden who's blue eyes.
Really?
Yeah. But we have a lot of mixed color, like blue, green, brown. It's very mixed eye color and hair color, so. That's
definitely probably a stereotype, but a little bit true.
I mean, we have a lot of people that are blonde and blue-eyed, yeah.
It's understandable.
It's understandable.
Yeah, I'm curious. What's the face of Sweden?
It's hard to say because in Sweden there's a lot of different kinds of people right now. It's very mixed with eye color and hairstyle and ethnicity. We don't really have a typical Swede per se. But I guess the stereotype still somewhat is blonde and blue eyes.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. But like seeing commercials and stuff like that, I think it's very mixed. From my personal perspective, I actually have no clue actually. Unemotional and reserved. What do you think?
Actually, most of the Swedes I've encountered are really like party animals. Okay, so I don't know about the emotional side, but like I said, I don't have much experience. Swedish media other than watching PewDiePie or the band I like. On a personal level, I feel like maybe, but I'm not. What do you think? Because I don't really know, like personally.
I think this is very different about what season it is and what day it is. So, for example, you mentioned party animals.
Right.
Yes. Typically, Swedish people like to party on the weekends. So, party animals, from my personal perspective, yes, very true. And also during the summer, Swedish people go outside, generally very happy, enjoying the sun because
the weather
finally,
in Sweden. I heard that it gets dark at 3 p.m. in winter, so I would also be unemotional and reserved.
In some places in Sweden gets dark very early. So during the winter time, it's very common to wear thick jackets, just your hood over. You go to the grocery store and you go back, and then you like have a cozy night with a lit candle. And at that time, I guess Swedes can seem a bit reserved and unemotional, I'd say. But summertime, weekends, I don't think that's it.
Wow, these are stereotypes.
I had no idea about this stereotype.
I have never heard of this.
No.
I think this is a personality. Well, we're both.
I mean, yeah.
We look like we're going to a funeral. So I think this may just be somebody's personality. I could see maybe why in the winter, if you're wearing like a big jacket or something, they may come across as like just very boring or something, like this fashion. But I just think that's kind of a personal thing, or like maybe a seasonal thing. I don't know. Never been to Sweden.
I haven't really thought about it. I generally view, from an outside perspective, looking into Sweden, I kind of think Sweden has a good sense of fashion. Swedish people generally have a good sense of fashion. Not because I'm Swedish per se, but I guess like during autumn and spring times, we do wear a bit more like earthy colors, but I mean, doesn't everyone do that?
Right.
And summertime there's a lot of white, like guys wear generally white shirts and girls wear white dresses. Like it's a very Swedish summer thing. So, but yeah, I guess it's neutral colors.
Yeah, that's kind of just definitely a stereotype. But Swedish meatballs are, very
good,
delicious.
right?
Yes, that's one of my favorite meals. I'll go to IKEA just to eat Swedish meatballs, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's probably a stereotype. Do you eat that every day? No?
So, no, I don't. I think Swedish people, when we cook food at home, we cook a lot of Swedish food. Like Swedish style restaurants, it's not a lot of that. We have a lot of different food from other cultures. Like there's a lot of Japanese restaurants, Mexican, American, Italian, and so on and so on. So I'd say we generally eat that a lot. But yes, absolutely, home-cooked meals in Sweden are delicious, and they tend to be Swedish meatballs and very potato-based foods, salmon, fish of all sorts, yeah.
I'm moving to Sweden. So
you're welcome.
Good. Okay, so in the South, I'm from the South, there's a lot of people who hunt for their food. Fishing's a big deal, so a lot of people go fishing and clean everything at home, like their fish, or they go hunting, or some people buy like one cow to use for the whole year. So I'm curious in Sweden, I'm sure it depends on your location, but
really does.
Do people like do all their hunting or like cleaning at home, or is it like, I guess if you live in a city you can't really go hunting, but
yeah, but like city people, especially during the summer, we usually, at least from the Stockholm perspective where I'm from, we tend to, there's something called Stockholms skärgård, like a bit outside on the outskirts of Stockholm. You go there with the beautiful nature, it's a lot of water, like islands around that area. So I have very strong childhood memories of going fishing with my father and then cleaning and cooking the fish that we caught. And I do think that is a thing in Sweden, and I'm not saying everyone's doing it, but yeah, definitely a lot of Swedish people do that. If you invite friends over, I do think like you make your own meatballs.
Meatball party.
You make your own mix of meatball, like how to do it. You don't really buy frozen meatballs to that extent. If you want to make a more nice meal of meatballs. This one is interesting. I feel like whatever I'll say to this, people won't agree with me, but okay.
What do I think?
Yeah,
what do you think? Well, I know that Americans love small talk, because when you see somebody, you just say everything. Oh my God, how are you? How have you been? I mean, small talk's a big deal, I think, to Americans. So.
The thing is, when I look at Swedes, I do think we do enjoy small talk generally. If you compare it to, let's say, Asian culture per se.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But if you then compare to America, who's very big on small talk, maybe I'm like Swedish people, we have a bit of a joke, because for me, when you go to your local grocery store or local 7-Eleven and you go there a few times, it's very common to be like, oh, the weather is so hot today, or like so cold today, or you know, that sort of small talk. Me personally enjoy it a lot. I feel like it brings a sense of belonging, like you're welcome, like the small talk. Hi, how are you doing? I'm fine. I want to buy this, thank you, bye bye, have a nice day. Like that sort of easy small talk is very common. Some Swedes don't like it. It's so personal, right? But I do think I enjoy it. I have a lot of friends who enjoy it. I think Swedes typically enjoy it.
I think it's a personality thing too. Like, I guess by stereotype, Americans are pretty loud, right? So generally we just attract to each other and we talk a lot. But if you're reserved or you have anxiety, you know, you may not be that kind of way. I guess the same with Swedes. Like, some people just don't want to talk to you, you know. Honestly, I was just really surprised about the clothes stereotype, because I mean, now I understand it looking back. It's more, I think it's more of a compliment, but sometimes when I associate things with stereotypes, it's more of a negative thing, right? So I was like, but Swedes look really good, like their fashion sense. So that's pretty interesting. I was interested to see that as a stereotype. Or the small talk. I think Swedish people are quite talkative and friendly for the most part. So if they don't like small talk, then I'd be kind of shocked.
And I actually don't know, do Swedes like small talk? I think it's such a personal...
Wait, we should ask people in the comments.
I think locally, yes, very much, right? Then strangers on the bus, not so much.
Like leave me alone.
Yeah, we do have, in Sweden we do have like a lot of personal space, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of that, like on the bus or on the subway, like generally want to be left alone in situations where conversation is a deal of it at like
I think it could vary by place too. I'm from the South, so a lot of people are very hospitable. So everybody, you know, talks to each other. Talk to a random stranger in like the grocery store is pretty normal. But if you go to New York City, somebody might spit at you. So I think it's gonna depend on where you go.
That definitely went from 0 to 100 real fast. Right?
It varies.
So today we talked about Swedish stereotypes.
If you liked the video, please like and subscribe or leave a comment. We'll see you soon.
Bye bye.